Whew! Shallow! I'm Mermaid Liv. Thank you for swimming over to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. I have a fun story today of how I became a mermaid.
Don't know why you say goodbye, I say shallow.
No, I did not magically transform into a mermaid by some spell. Although if I could do that, I just might. I became a mermaid when I was about 18 years old. If I had known that mermaiding was a thing, I would have become one way sooner. But fortunately, I found it before adulthood. I kind of figured it out on my own. I didn't know there was a mermaid community. I didn't really know that much about the mermaid community or mermaiding. I just loved mermaids. And I always thought it would be so cool to swim like a mermaid. And one time I saw a YouTube video where a girl sewed her own mermaid tail and used a monofin. And that was a completely brand new idea to me. I was like mind blown. And I added that to my bucket list. I knew I was going to do that one day. And then one day when I was working at a thrift store, well, I would always find things that I liked there. And one day I found some fabric, some shiny like bathing suit material fabric. And it was leopard print, which isn't my preferred pattern for a mermaid tail. But I was like, this'll do. I'm making a mermaid tail. And so I sewed my very first mermaid tail, and I just kind of wung it. I didn't follow a pattern or use instructions. I actually have a video of myself making a mermaid tail, so I'll put that up here for you to watch and see how I do it. It has pockets, by the way. My first mermaid tail was very basic. I didn't actually have a monofin in it, so I went through a whole series of testing homemade monofins, and I know we're not supposed to do that, so, you know, I don't recommend making your own monofins. I didn't know any better back then. I was just figuring it all out, and I did get my first monofin was a Finis, I think it was a Finis Wave or Rapid, the one that's shorter. I forget. I'll put a link to that in the description. It's one of my favorite monofins. It's like the best brand of monofin, but I'm getting distracted, as I do. So my journey continues through over a few years of making new mermaid tails, trying out new techniques. I made mermaid tails out of fabric. I made them out of neoprene, and I would put puff paint scales on them so it was like 3D. I was experimenting with all kinds of fins. And I was still doing this all on my own, and, you know, every once in a while I would go swimming in them. And then, you know, I started to learn that professional mermaiding was a thing, and I was like, yes, that's the thing I want to do. That is for me. 100% I am going to be a professional mermaid. And for a while I let that sit on the back burner while I went through school and stuff. And I started getting more advanced with my mermaid tails, and I was always pretty good at being a mermaid. Like when I would be out in public and little kids would come up to me, I would always like play with them and put on a little mermaid act, and I always loved that. So that's how I got my first experience as a professional mermaid, was just impromptu beach meetings and things like that. And then in 2019, I want to say it was 2019, I saw that the Key West Mermaid Festival was looking for mermaids to participate, and I was like, I want to do that. And it was like the night before they were done accepting applications, and I made a really crappy like video. It was too dark, but I got all dressed up, and, you know, I told them my mermaid story, how I went to Grenada and was a mermaid there. I went swimming. Oh yeah, that's another thing that was supposed to be said before the Mermaid Festival. I went to this country called Grenada, which is a Caribbean island, and I lived there for 2 months because I was like, I'm done with the real world. I'm gonna go live on an island and be a mermaid. I think everyone should do that at least once in their life, because it was a wonderful time, a life-changing experience. I grew and I changed, and it really helped me as a mermaid even, because I met some people and I did some mermaid modeling underwater and art modeling. They would draw me and I would pose in my mermaid tail. I made some money doing that, so I guess you could say I'm a mermaid model. I would like to continue doing that. It is fun, and it's a lot easier than doing gigs because you don't really have to do any acting or anything. You just have to pose. Anyway, after that, I got my first mermaid tail that I didn't make, and unfortunately it was one of those knockoff mermaid tails, and I didn't even know about Finfolk Productions because I was still in my own little private mermaid world. After getting back from Grenada, I started discovering more about the mermaid community online. And then I made my first Instagram dedicated to me as a mermaid, my Mersona, Mermaid Live, with pictures and videos just of me as a mermaid. Then later I saw about the Key West Mermaid Festival, and I applied, sent my video, and I got accepted. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought it was going to be a lot harder to get in than that. So that was my first real mermaid gig. It was a 3-day event full of meet and greets, swims, a parade, and I had a blast. I was in my element, and I was like, I love this. And so I knew I was gonna keep putting in work to become a mermaid, or to be a professional mermaid. And from there I continued on with my mermaid Instagram and taking pictures when I could. I really cracked down on mermaid stuff during quarantine because, I had the time to make content, and I did. And I got my first gig in 2020. The pool was extra chlorinated, so don't worry about coronavirus. Everything turned out okay. And that was a kid's birthday party. I have some video clips from it, so... It was super fun and super magical. I really loved doing it, and it felt completely natural to me, and I want to keep doing mermaid gigs, and I'm offering services such as events and festivals and meet and greets, kids' birthday parties, and right now I'm starting to do video messages, personalized video messages. So if you want to send a mermaid video message to someone, primarily for little kids and birthdays and just greetings, then send me an email at oliviagilbertmermaid@gmail.com, and I will make that happen, and it will be magical. So that's how I became a mermaid. Do you need to have a mermaid tail to be a mermaid? No, I don't think so. I think you just need to have a passion for mermaids, just be interested in mermaids, just give off a mermaid vibe, love the ocean, love nature, have a whimsical personality, a love of swimming, and a love of all things magical. Because being a mermaid is super magical, and life is more exciting as a mermaid. So people may judge you and think you're weird, but hey, we're having a good time. So thanks for watching, everyone. That's my story on how I became a mermaid. I'd love to hear yours. Comment below when you became a mermaid and what was your first tail. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications of when I post. I try to post around every Monday and Friday roughly, and I make all mermaid content for mermaids, dressed up as a mermaid, mermaid tips and tricks, mermaid stories, and whatever else I can think of that relates to mermaids. Is there anything you want to see? I can always use some new ideas, so let me know. Bye bye!